You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and something balanced for the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode of Changeling Tale, Grace's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. A good role model then.
I try the best I can, but she needs fulfillment I can't give her, and she can't find in the world.
Is she looking?
I'd say not.
Does she need to?
Yes, she's been a sullen girl since our mother passed.
I never knew the woman. She died in childbirth over 19 years ago.
Grace still blames herself, or more accurately, she thinks we blame her. It's not true, we certainly don't. The life with her is sticky. You need to watch what you say so as to avoid hurting her feelings all round. She's kind when she wants to be, but a monster when she's in the right mood.
What brings her joy? Anything?
Just the outdoors. As far as I can tell, she sit out by the log for hours. At times I think she may have tried swimming in it, which is unbelievable. It's like an ice bath. I let her be when she goes to the shoreline. Can we change the subject?
To Jessie.
To not Jessie. How about you?
To me?
Yes, please, to you. This morning when you left the service early, I was hoping you were all right.
I'm fine. It was just, well, it brought back some unpleasant memories.
I understand. I hope the pastor's words offer some solace, that your sacrifice was not in vain.
I want to believe that it's true. I wish I could. I think the sermon was misinformed. This is not a holy war. It was merely a loss of lives.
But all that fighting, it wasn't for nothing. We finally won.
What did we win, Marion? What have you gained? Think of everything that we have all lost. At first, when Marion turns away, I think she's trying to avoid me in the conversation. She pulls out a handkerchief, wipes away a few tears, and gives me a look begging me to continue.
Tell me more, please.
I can't face having to relive the nightmare so soon. I'm sorry, Marion, it's still too close. She turns away again, embarrassed.
Of course, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, it's my burden to carry. What's important is, it's behind us now.
Behind all of us, God willing, no one will have to experience such horrors again. They're all calling it the war to end all war.
And so they shall call the next war, too. Marion looks hurt, and for that I feel bad, but she doesn't understand. She hasn't seen humanity at its worst. I wish I could share her optimism, but I feel only my ire returning. I stand up. I should probably get back to work while the day is still young. Thank you for the lovely spread. She stands up as well and begins tossing everything back in the basket.
It's my pleasure. I'm glad you can join us. If there's anything you need, we'll be here for you.
Likewise, Marion. We couldn't ask for better neighbors. She smiles, but it still looks concerned.
Be well, Malcolm. I mean that.
Second nail. With that, she takes off down the hill towards her home. I watch every measured step she takes, appreciative of her warmth and empathy. I know I'll be in a better mood for company another day. In the meantime, I suspect I will benefit from some solitude. My body is sore from overuse and too much alcohol, so I have to will myself to action. Alright, Malcolm, enough dilly-dallying. You need to earn your keep around here, and the roofs don't repair themselves. I hear a soft voice behind me. It nearly makes me jump.
Is fixing the roof going to solve your problems?
Grace emerges from behind one of the trees. It will solve one of them, yes. You were hiding there the whole time.
No, only most of it.
An eavesdropper in our midst. I suppose it's only fair after our encounter at the water's edge.
I was on my way to the loch, but I thought I might come back to tell you something.
Yes, Grace.
I know what you're going through. Well, at least a little bit.
You think so? I'm convinced she's sincere, but maybe not correct. She persists.
I see it in your eyes, the sadness.
I'm not too good at hiding it.
The jokes. That's what I do. Make everything funny so no one points out how terrible everything is.
This is getting ridiculous. Are you sad, Grace? What do you have to be sad about? You're free to do what you want. Live how you want to live.
You're free to do the same.
I am now. Do you know what I've been doing for the past few years? What I've seen or experienced? You can't begin to imagine. This is turning into the very conversation I'd hoped to avoid.
You're right. I should let you be. I'm sorry.
Her expression turns to glum, and I immediately feel guilty for acting so gruff with her. She came to me as a friend. I should allow myself at the very least a moment to reflect without judgment. Grace, please, don't leave. I apologize for getting defensive. Being back home is still taking some getting used to.
I don't like seeing you upset.
I sense that Grace's level of empathy is limited, and to be a recipient of her goodwill is a gift to be valued. Really, I don't mean to be difficult. Please, let me hear more. I would like to listen to your thoughts. Sitting back down against the tree trunk, I invite her to sit beside me. The healing process surely can't start without opening up, and Grace's sorrowful eyes seem as compassionate as I could ask for. I wait for her to start up the conversation again. She looks up at the sun before speaking.
I believe I understand some things about life, Malcolm. And some things, though maybe fewer things, about death.
She pauses to dab her eyelids. She is stoically avoiding crying, and I am drawn to reach out and comfort her. Instead, I hold back, waiting to see a cue that my tenderness would be well received.
I understand the deep pain that death brings, and the sorrow that lingers indefinitely. I know what it feels like to be looked at by everyone you know, everyone you love, and be seen.
Grace takes a deep breath as is choking down her own pain.
Quite honestly, to be seen as a killer.
She lets out her breath in a long, hollow sigh, as if revealing a secret she has held onto indefinitely. Second, y'all. Water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's jump right back into it, shall we? Okay. Almost at once, we look into each other's eyes, and I hold her gaze long enough to try to communicate a shared mercy. When she continues, it's with a distinct sense of conviction.
Everyone blames me for my mother's death, especially father. He ignored me from birth, shunned me like a fallen sparrow. Only my sisters and Miss Alana treated me with respect, as a real person. Even then, no one sees me as Grace. I'm the result of a tragedy. I am not the joy of birth. I'm the reminder of death.
This is a great catharsis for her. I can tell by the way her eyes have cleared, even if she turns her sights back to the ground. Grace, look at me. Maybe that's not true.
Being honest.
I know, I believe you, but I hope you know that your life hasn't been meaningless.
Neither has yours. Just because we go through hell doesn't mean we're not allowed back into heaven.
It takes a moment to internalize what she said. When I do, her words lift my heart. I try to coax more from her, now that she has opened up to me. Where are you? In heaven, or still in hell, Grace?
I'm in limbo, and so are you. We're floating, just waiting to land in a soft spot.
I imagine that to be true, and picture my body landing in a plush oasis of pillows and inner peace. I thought that's how I would feel when I returned, but it's been much different.
What comforts you?
The question gives me pause. Know that Gran has a family again, that I can be there for her.
You're a good person, Malcolm, doing a noble thing. But will it help you put behind the past?
It's as foreign a concept as the absence of guilt or falling in love. I suspect it's at once likely attainable, yet somehow always just out of reach. Grace reaches out and strokes my arm, stopping at my hand and taking hold of it. Her fingers move along mine and send a shiver into me. I hold on tighter.
The world is full of hope in odd places. What we've seen doesn't have an answer, but maybe being back home could provide you with peace and comfort, knowing that others care about you. Your life is meaningful to me and my sisters, even if you don't feel it is for yourself.
Grace, thank you for your kind words.
All true, dear Malcolm.
She keeps her gaze on me and we lock eyes again. I see both her sympathy and empathy, her broken heart and unwavering optimism.
Come with me. I want to take you somewhere special.
I follow Grace willingly, no longer lost in my own dark thoughts. Even if we share nothing, I appreciate that she wants to open up to me. It's hard to admit, but we may have more in common than I had imagined. The poor girl has been put through the ringer her entire life. Not by violence, but by 2 decades of rejection. Imagine a life being ostracized through no fault of your own. I see her cavalier behavior in a new light, one that highlights determination and strength in the face of trauma. Grace may not be a happy girl, but she's bound and determined to mine through life's darkest vast caves to find just one glowing diamond chip of hope. I hope she succeeds. Maybe then I will too. We reach the coast, the water lapping at the low cliffs. She dares me to come into the water with her.
Relax, it's cold, not deadly.
It's freezing!
I'll keep you warm.
For the first time, she sounds so cheerful, so alive with spirit.
Come on in.
Sploosh. Grace shouts and waves, running ahead, and my heart nearly stops as she pauses and deftly slips out of her clothes. She winks at me, laughs, and dives under, only to re-emerge a few yards out. She's fast, she's beautiful. Every part of me screams to jump right in after her, but by gum, that water flows straight from the North Atlantic. The hell? I kick off my clothes, take a deep breath, and with a running leap, I dive in. Crivens! The water hits like a bath of ice. I gasp for air, momentarily too shocked to breathe. Grace swims by, laughing, just as my body starts responding again.
See? Not so bad.
She seems to interpret my shivering as a nod.
Now come on!
The current moves us both further down the coast. The tide is going out and the salt air hits my nose. I can almost taste the sea. Grace leads me to a cleft in the cliffside beneath the old ruins. There's a small hole in the rock, which I'd never noticed before. She floats in and beckons me closer. It had been cold just seconds earlier, but now a warm desire is filling me from the inside. It's beautiful. We enter the grotto, and I'm momentarily awestruck by the reflections dancing on the stone walls before being distracted by an even greater beauty. I wanted to turn around, to show me more, but I chastised myself for being so sinful. She continues swimming, her back fully exposed. I know she can feel my gaze upon her. I know she likes it. We go deeper and find footing in the rocky shallows. The cold has vanished. I try to subdue my excitement, and it's nearly impossible.
I thought I saw my sister by the water's edge. I didn't want her to see me.
I'm not sure I believe her, but I certainly don't question it.
Malcolm, come closer. I don't want her to see either of us.
She's still a few feet away. I narrow our distance and come up behind her, touching her shoulder. She shivers, but I can tell she's not cold.
Closer.
Oh, look at that. I submit. I wrap my arm around her shoulder and she turns in the water. Grace lets go of the rock and holds onto my neck, her naked body so close to mine. Thankfully, she can't see below my shoulders. I slide one hand down her neck, stopping on her lower back. As a minute passed toward eternity, we stay this way, just holding each other, bobbing up and down, her naked body brushing back and forth against mine. A hard fact hits me. In the shadowy darkness, I am looking at the face of a girl I remember only as a fanciful child, albeit one I now believe I hardly knew or understood. The deep internal conflicts we dealt with for so long alone could now be shared. Is either of us ready for that? On shore and now here in these gentle waters, she's shown me an intimacy that I've never known. Certainly not with such intensity. Feel a kiss. Chest tightens as I realize I'm starting to covet her sweet and salty wit, as well as her taste. Her smile is as wide as the seas, and I know mine must be as well. Her gaze falls onto my lips. She's thinking the same thing. Before she can look up, I brush my lips against her forehead, tasting the salt on her skin. She holds me tighter, which urges me on. When she does look up, I quickly move in and kiss her on her open mouth. The softness of her wet lips against mine deepens my desire immediately, and she begins kissing me more intensely. Her tongue dips gingerly into my mouth, and our kiss deepens further. I've all but given up hiding my arousal as our arms slide adventurously around each other's hips and shoulders. My heart races, it's all going so fast. Grace places her hand at my chin, and gently but firmly we break apart. My chest still throbs, caught up in the heat of the moment, as she wears a giddy smile too. The yellow shimmer of the afternoon's disappearing sunlight breaks through the crack of the cove's entrance and reflects off of Grace's cheeks. There's no doubt I'm smitten. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Alright, y'all, I am exhausted. I'm gonna go kick back for the evening. Y'all have a lovely rest of your nights. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!